Good morning, students. In today's class of service marketing, we'll start with a new topic, that is consumer decision-making process for services. This is also known as the purchase process for services. In the previous class, we have understood the various distinctive characteristics of consumer behavior in case of services. In today's class, we will understand what is the process a consumer undergoes while he or she decides that he or she will purchase a particular service. This consumer decision making process for services will be discussed. We'll start with this consumer decision making process for services. Consumer decision making process involves the consumer to identify their needs, gather information, evaluate alternatives, and then make their buying decision. So when we say that we are discussing about the consumer decision making process, generally certain stages are there which need to be discussed in order to understand the complete decision making process which the consumer undergoes while coming to the decision whether to buy or not that particular service. It consists of identifying their needs. The consumer must first identify the needs, the underlying needs, the needs arousal should be there. Second, they should, after the needs arousal is there, after the consumer understands its needs, then he wants to satisfy these needs. So it will gather information regarding what are the ways in which the particular needs and expectation of the consumer will be satisfied. Then he will evaluate the alternatives available. What are the various alternatives available at the disposal of the consumer which can be used to satisfy those needs. And then after evaluating the alternatives, the consumer will decide a particular service which he or she wants to purchase, and then he or she will make the buying decision of the particular service. So this is the complete consumer decision making process that a consumer undergoes while taking a decision to purchase a service. The consumer decision making behavior is a complex procedure and involves everything starting from problem recognition to post-purchase activities. So it is a very complex process. All the stages are involved in the consumer decision making process. It is a complex process and involves everything right from the point of problem recognition or identification of the needs to the post-purchase activities like evaluation, whether the particular service he has got is satisfying the needs or not, whether it is value for money or not, whether the decision to buy the particular service was right or not. All these things post-purchase activities are done in order to see whether the purchased or the service availed satisfy the needs of the consumer. So it is a complex procedure. When consumers decide to buy a service to meet an unfulfilled need, they go through what is often called as a complex purchase process. So this consumer decision process is also known as a purchase process, and this is a complex process where the consumers tries to meet an unfulfilled need of this and has to undergo this complex process in order to come to the decision making that what service that the customer wants to buy. This process has three separate stages. The consumer decision making process for services can be divided into broadly three stages. It consists of the pre-purchase stage, the service encounter stage, and the post-purchase stage. So all the three stages will be discussed in detail in the following slides. So we'll start with the diagram of the consumer decision making process for services. So this is the complete diagram. First, you can see that there are complete all the stages are divided into broadly three stages, that is pre-purchase stage, service encounter stage, and post-purchase stage. The pre-purchase stage consists of first the awareness of need, where the consumer understands the need he or she has, and after understanding the need, It undergoes information search where it defines needs, explores solutions, and tries to identify the alternative service suppliers. So here we will go through all the personal and non-personal sources of information search. We'll try to understand the need and in what way the various solutions are available to satisfy those needs. And then also we'll identify the alternative solutions available or alternative service supplies available. Those will help him to satisfy the needs. Not only this, by evaluating the alternatives of service suppliers, he has to see keep certain things in mind like review documentation, example the brochures, websites. It has to review documentation. Then it has to consult with other people like family, friends, and other consumers who have already used other customers who have already used that particular service, and also visit possible service supplier and speak with the personnel. It will visit the facility, service facility, and try to understand how the service is being delivered. So why this is done? These all the steps are done in order to evaluate the alternative service supplier in detail. Because once the consumer makes a detailed analysis or evaluation of the alternative service suppliers, then he or she will be in a position to take a informed decision whether to buy a service from a particular service supplier. So these three things come under pre-purchase stage. In the service encounter stage, service request is given to the chosen supplier, and sometimes it may also consider initiating a self-service. And in service encounter stage, the service consumer comes in contact with the service provider or the service delivery person. So there is service delivery. So these are the points where the consumer directly comes in contact with the service delivery person of the service company. And what is done in order to keep the consumer at ease, so that to make him feel that the decision taken by him is right, that the service provider that he has chosen is right. So all these things will come under the service encounter stage. And after service encounter stage, the third stage will be post-purchase stage. So in service encounter stage, he has already purchased. In pre-purchase stage, he has decided. In service encounter stage, he actually undertakes or the service. And after post-purchase, what will happen? He will do the evaluation of the service performance in order to understand whether the service is satisfying the needs, whether he has taken a right decision, whether the services that is being offered to him is of the expectation, as per the expectation of the consumer. And this also determines the future intention of the customers, because if the consumer is satisfied with the services received by the service company, then he may return for repeat purchases. Not only this, it will reduce the cognitive dissonance whatever, if somehow it arises, will be reduced. Not only this, a positive word of mouth also will be uh, done by the consumer, where he will reach other consumers and say that he was satisfied with the particular service company, and he will tell others to avail those services from that particular service company. So these are the various stages. Since it's a long topic, we'll discuss one by one. In today's class, we'll be focusing mostly on the pre-purchase stage. So we'll start with the pre-purchase stage. In the pre-purchase stage, this is the first stage in the service purchase process, where consumers search for information, identify alternatives, weigh benefits and risks, and make a purchase decision. So this is the stage where all the four things happen. First, the consumer search for information, what are the available information about the various service suppliers. Then it will identify the various alternatives available to him. Then it will weigh the benefits and risks. We will see how far the service company will be able to satisfy the needs of the consumer. It will try to understand the benefits and risk and try to weigh them out to understand what is more, the benefits are more or whether the risks are more. And then finally will be in a position to make an informed purchase decision. So this is everything is involved in the first stage. Thus the decision to buy and use a service is made in the pre-purchase stage. So finally what happens? The decision to buy and use a particular service from a particular service company is made in this pre-purchase stage. The service purchase is triggered by an underlying need. This is also known as need arousal. So whenever a particular person wants to buy a particular service, that particular desire to buy a particular service is triggered by this underlying need. There must be a need in the mind of the consumers, and in order for satisfaction of this need, the service is bought. So the service acts as a trigger of this underlying need. So the service purchase is triggered by an underlying need. So there must be an underlying need, there must be need arousal, there must be a recognition of this need by the consumer. The consumer must feel that he wants to satisfy these needs, and if he thinks that if he buys the service or avails the service from the particular service company, his need and expectations will be fulfilled to the most. Need is the catalyst which triggers the buying decision of individual. Therefore, we can put it in simple sentences that need is the catalyst which triggers the buying decision of individual. So, if there is no need, there are chances that there will be no buying decision of individuals, because if there is no need, then the customer does not feel the requirement to buy a particular service. Let me give an example. Suppose during this COVID times, as teachers, we have to take a lot of online classes, online sessions of classes. So there is a need to take or to have a particular internet service which is strong enough to satisfy our need of having a very flawless class. So what we'll do, we will decide that this is the need, and for satisfaction of this need, once the need arousal is there, we have to decide the various alternatives available, what are the various internet services given by various service companies, and then we have to decide upon a particular service company. So the whole process of the decision making process that we undergo is known as the purchase process of services. So here there must be a need, and this need will act as a catalyst which will trigger the buying decision of individuals. So the need that we need to have an internet service, a good internet service, acts as a catalyst in making us take a decision to buy a particular internet service from a particular service company. So the need is a catalyst which triggers the buying decision of individuals. Individual needs and expectations are very important here because they influence what alternatives customers will consider. Obviously, the need arousal is there, recognition of this need there, and this needs and expectation is very important because they will influence what alternative the consumer or the customer will consider. Depending upon the need, depending upon the urgency of the need, the amount of money to be spent in a particular service, that will be decided. So it will influence the various alternatives available to the consumer. So these need and expectations are very important. Then in the pre-purchase stage, when consumers are aware of their needs and are interested to satisfy their needs, they search for alternatives. Obviously, when there is a need and they feel that this need has to be satisfied, so this unsatisfied or unfulfilled need should be met, then they want to search for alternatives to see what are the various alternatives available which will help the consumer to satisfy their need. If the purchase is routine and relatively low risk, customers may quickly go by selecting and using a specific service provider. Obviously, when the purchase of the service is a routine or a low risk, relatively low risk purchase that does not involve a lot of risk, then the consumers may move quickly to selecting and using a specific service provider because they feel since there is no need to panic, since a lot of risk is not attached, since the service is a very routine or a mundane service that does not require so much pondering about, then there is no problem on the part of the consumer. The consumer can quickly take a decision of selecting a particular service provider. Whereas when the purchase decision is not routine and the risk involved in the particular purchase of service involves a lot of risk, then the consumer has to very diligently, delicately handle the situation and understand the various alternatives, evaluate the various alternatives very precisely in order to make a decision whether or not to buy that particular service from a particular service company. So when the purchase is routine or relatively low risk, the consumers can quickly make a decision in selecting and using a specific service provider. But when there is more at stake, or a service is about to be used for the first time, they may conduct an intensive information search. An intensive information search has to be undergone when the consumer feel they are taking or availing the service for the first time, or they feel that a lot is at stake and the service that they're going to purchase consists of a high risk, high perceived risk. Then they will go to an intensive information search in order to be sure about the service that they are availing. To give you an example so that it will be clear in your minds is that contrast how you approach the process of applying to college versus buying a pizza. So when we are taking availing the services of education services, we want to apply to a particular college. Since a lot of is at stake and it involves a high perceived risk because our career is at stake, we have to take a much more intensive information search about the college, about the placements of the college, about the uh, results of the college, how far that college is good, how far if we undergo education, take the education services from that college, how far the degree is valid, and how far it will help me in the career. All these things has to be taken while applying for a college. Whereas when we are going to have a particular buy a pizza or have a dinner with friends in a particular restaurant, then we did not decide a lot. Intensive information search is not much required because this involves relatively low risk. So that decision can be taken very easily. So in brief, we can say that when the service we are purchasing is a very routine service and consists of relatively low risk, the consumers will move quickly, make a decision, and they will select a service provided instantaneously. Whereas when more is at stake and when the consumer feels he's taking the service for the first time, then the customer or the consumer will be interested to involve himself in an intensive information search in order to be clear and take an informative decision about purchasing the service from a particular service provider. Now, when in pre-purchases, the three things we have to keep in mind, three attributes that we are should be kept in mind, that is experience, credence, and search. The experience, credence, and search attributes are some of the factors that distinguish services from goods. The consumer decision taking for services and goods are differ because there are of three attributes, that is experience, credence, and search. We'll understand each of them. Services are high on experience and credence attributes while goods are high on search attributes. So how do these differ? The goods and services, these three attributes differ. Services are found to be particularly high on experience and credence attributes, whereas the search attributes is mostly found in goods. Attributes that can be evaluated before purchase are called search attributes. Since the attributes that can be evaluated before purchase can be properly, thoroughly understood before purchase are known as search attributes. These are mostly found in goods because in goods we can understand the various features, specifications of the goods in order to understand whether the particular product or good will be able to satisfy my needs or not. So the search attributes are majorly found in goods, whereas experience and credence is generally found, is highly found in services. In services, experience is needed before evaluating them because When we are buying a service, new service, there is a fear of unknown. We don't know how far the service will satisfy our needs. In services, we always depend upon experience in evaluating the service. So before buying, we generally in service, we want to have some service experience is needed before evaluating them. So experience plays a is high in case of services. Sometimes customers may not be sure or cannot be sure of attributes even after the experience. These attributes are known as credence attributes. Sometimes even the customer has understood, has the experience of the particular attribute, then also he is not clear whether the decision taken by him is right or not. Then these attributes are known as credent attribute. Let me give you an example to clear your doubts. Suppose we take our car for servicing in a particular service company, and after the service is over and we have paid for the services, we feel that the mechanic or the service company has ripped us, has called us, and has taken more money from us. We may feel the credence attributes. We may not be sure whether the decision taken was taken by us was right or not. Even if we have experienced the service, we are not happy, or we feel that there are certain things we are not sure enough that whether the decision to take the service from the particular service company was right or not. So therefore, when the sometimes the customers cannot be sure of the attributes even after experience, such attributes are known as credence attributes. So in just we can say that experience and credence attributes are generally high in case of services, and such attributes are more common or high in case of goods. So we can understand this by a diagram. This is known as continuum of evaluating different type of products and services. Here in the diagram, we have divided all the a lot of products and services, goods and services have been divided, and we have decided in one side of the diagram there is easy to evaluate, and the other side of the diagram there is difficult to evaluate. So we have decided to put the products and services in line. Initially, we have started with most goods, and towards the end, it is mostly services. So we'll understand how the three attributes of search, experience, and credence, how far they are prominent in the various things we avail or various purchase decisions we make. When it comes to clothing, jewelry, furniture, and houses, these are mostly goods. And here, these are high-end search attribute. Before buying a particular clothing, before buying a particular jewelry or furniture or houses, the consumer can involve himself in uh, before only purchase only he can evaluate the various whether the clothing, jewelry, furniture, houses is of a particular has particular features, whether it will be able to satisfy the needs of the consumers. All these things can be before purchase it can be evaluated. So these are mostly goods. So this is high in case of goods. There are certain things which are high in experience. So once we experience these things, then only we'll be able to understand whether it is right decision has taken or not. We have taken or not. Suppose restaurant meals, vacations, haircuts, childcare. So once we avail these services, these are coming in services. So once we avail these services, we go to a restaurant and have a meal. We go for a particular vacation given by a particular service company, tourism company, or travel company. We take the haircuts from particular spa or salon, and then we take the childcare services. Once we experience these services, we will be able to understand, we will be able to evaluate these services. So these are high in experience. And there are certain services which are high in credence. So these are difficult to evaluate. Even if we have experienced the particular service, it is very difficult to decide whether the decision taken by us is right or wrong. Particularly television repair. We may feel that even though we have repaired we have undergone this, taken the services of television repairing, we may feel that the person has conned us or ripped us or taken more money from us or given us some parts which are not proper. The legal services, we may not be able to understand the legal services properly. Even after experiencing the level services, we may feel that we have been charged more prices. Samely root canals, auto repairs, and medical diagnosis. So here in all the services, we are not able to evaluate the services even if we have the experience of these services. So these services are high in credence. So this is the continuum of evaluating different types of products and services, where we have understood how the goods and services, some goods and services, how goods are high in search and in services, some services are high in experience and high in credence. So this will give you an understanding of the how the services are sometimes easy to goods are easy to evaluate and services are difficult to evaluate. Now coming to another thing we'll understand in pre-purchase stage is the search for information. In order to make the right service choice, a customer needs to search for information regarding the service that would fulfill their need. So once there is a need arousal, we have understood the need that is there. Now we have to understand, we go for what kind of search for information has to be undergone in order to make a much more proper decision, the right choice that has to be taken by this customer. The customer has to go through the search for information regarding the service that would be able to fulfill his or her need. Information can be collected either from internal sources or external sources. There are two kinds of sources from which search for information can be done. It may be internal sources and external sources. In internal sources includes information retrieved by the consumer from his memory pertaining to previous experience of buying the service. So it is consisting, the internal sources consist of the experience that the customer previously has regarding the particular service or the particular service company. And the external sources, it consists of many sources, generally four. It may consist of personal sources, that is family and friend, etc. It may consist of commercial sources like salespeople, point of sale displays, or dealers. So from these places they can get the information. Public sources are also there, such as TV, newspaper, magazines, radios, from which the customer can get this search for information, can understand what services are available. And they may be also experimental services like service trial, observing, examining, etc. So here service trial can be taken in order to understand whether the service will be able to satisfy the needs of the consumer. By observing or examining the other customers who have already availed the services, we can understand, or physical evidence, we can understand how far the particular service will be able to satisfy our needs. So the various external sources, the personal sources, the commercial sources, the public sources, and experimental sources are the sources from which the consumer can get a lot of information regarding the particular service, and then decide whether the particular service will be able to satisfy his needs or not. Then there is a element of risk which is also known as perceived risk while taking the decision to buy a particular service, because when we are buying a service, we are buying something which is not known, or something which we have not availed, and mostly services can be understood whether they are right or wrong once we avail them. So there is a certain perceived risk attached with the purchase decision of services. Perceived risk is the exposure of the consumer to the chance of inquiry, loss, or damage resulting from the purchase decision. So here the risk is attached with the chance of inquiry. Maybe he could have inquired more in order to get particular information, or the loss or damage they must be that the consumer will be undergoing if he has taken a wrong decision. So this is the perceived risk attached with the purchase decision of services. Intangibility of services makes the customer's perception of higher risk higher in case of services than case of goods. Since the service is intangible, we are not able to see or touch the service, we are not able to make a perception in our mind. So the perception, since we can't able to make the perception, we cannot touch and feel the service, the perception is of the risk is very high in case of services than in case of goods. Because in case of goods, we are in a position to understand the goods before making a service. We can evaluate the various specification of the goods and can make a much more informed decision. This is not possible in case of services because due to the characteristics of intangibility present in case of services. So the perception, customers' perception of risk is higher in case of services. Consumers always seek means to reduce this risk. So obviously, when they feel that a perceived risk is more, they try to undergo various means in order to reduce this kind of risk. What are the various means they can be undergoing or availing? First, they may examine from their own personal experiences whether they can, if they have a personal experience about the particular service company or service of a particular service company, they can avail their own service experiences. Relying on a service firm with a good reputation. When we are taking the service for the first time, it is always better to rely on a service firm with a good reputation. We can understand because when a service firm has a good reputation and the service provided by the company is already good and there are a lot of satisfied customers are there. So even if we don't know about the service company, if we know the reputation, we can rely on that reputation and take the services when we are taking the services for the first time. We can examining the tangible cues or other physical evidence. We will understand the various cues to tangible cues present in the service or try to get the physical evidence to understand that the service will be able to satisfy the needs of the customer or the consumer. Visiting the service facilities or trying aspects of the service before purchasing, etc. So we can visit the service facility, we can go through all the documentation, we can also visit the persons who will deliver the service in order to understand how far the service will be able to satisfy our needs. So these are the ways in which the consumers can try to reduce their perceived risk. So customers tend to continue to patronize the same firm if they have not received bad service from that firm in the past. So one of the ways of reducing the risk is also to patronize that company or to be loyal to that company from which we have never received any bad service in the past. So we can rely on that particular company, that the services offered by that company will be of the utmost best quality and it will satisfy our need. This is especially true if one has patronized a particular firm regularly, one has been a regular, loyal or customer of a particular service company, then he will be in a position to understand the kind of services and the quality of services given by the service company. Going to a new service firm has a much higher element of the unknown, thus higher risk. This is generally possible in case of services because there is an element of the unknown. We don't know whether the new service company will be able to satisfy our needs to the fullest or not. That is the reason there is a lot of loyalty or patronizing in case of services than in case of goods. As a result, there tends to be higher loyalty towards service firms, towards sellers of tangible goods, than towards sellers of tangible goods. So in services, there is a lot much patronizing and loyalty present because we don't want to shift ourselves to a new service company. About the company we have no information, so a lot of loyalty and patronizing is seen in case of service firms. The next step after we have understood the risk of perceived risk and we have minimized the perceived risk, the next step is to identify the potential suppliers and then weigh the benefits and risks of each option before making the final decision. So now we are in, the customer is in a position to weigh the benefits with the risk and decide which option, with which option he will move forward or what final decision he has to take after this weighing of the benefits and risk of each and every option, each and every alternative available to the customer. The customer will be in a position to make a final decision. Thus, having evaluated all possible alternatives, the consumer may now be ready to make a decision and selecting one option in preference to the others. Now the customer is in a position to completely understand after evaluating all the possible alternatives the consumer will be in a position to understand to make a much more informed decision and selecting one option in preference to the others. He will decide a particular service from whose service he wants to avail. So this is all the thing that the customer has to undergo in the pre-purchase stage. The remaining two stages will be discussed in the next class. Please go through the video. Please go through the notes that I will be sending you digitally. No need to panic, prepare. And finally, thank you for your attention.